You know what the world needs is another special edition of something. We have a special edition. It's the special edition Mustang. It's the latest special edition.
Okay.
Hang on. Can we count them? Current Mustang has the EcoBoost, the GT, the GT Premium, the Bullet, the GT350.
Bullet's gone. This replaces the Bullet.
I know, but I'm just saying, these are all the special we have. The GT500, and now this, the Mach 1 is back.
You're watching Everyday Driver. We make a TV show, podcast,
and YouTube channels dedicated to great cars, driving adventures, and helping you find a car you'll love.
subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing.
The GT350 and the R went away. And so we needed something to fill this bridge between the GT and the GT500, the Shelby. So here we are with a car that you can think of is everything like a GT350 except for the engine.
Yeah, very similar.
Almost all the parts. This is a parts car. Ford has cribbed parts from just about every Mustang ever built, modern Mustang.
The GT, the Bullet, the GT350, the GT500, all of them have contributions into this, the Mach 1.
The 6-speed, if you get the 6-speed manual transmission with this car, it's from the GT350. If you get the splitter, the front splitter from the GT500, and let's see, the twin disc clutch from the GT, and a bunch of other stuff.
Well, it's the GT engine,
so,
the 5.0.
Well, yeah, it's a tuned-up engine. The point is, does Ford need this Mustang? Besides bringing back the Mach 1 name, you'll see the lovely limited edition numbering.
Yes. Somebody's going to get this press car, because that limited edition plaque's going to be worth something.
Okay, so we'll keep track of chassis number 35 for the Mach 1.
If you buy chassis number 35 at Barrett-Jackson in 20 years, you got a press car. I'm just telling you right now.
You got our car. I think that Ford is thinking about how to sell future Mustangs, right?
Absolutely.
How do you do that? Well, you ask the marketing department, and they say, let's bring the Mach 1 name back. We haven't done that in 17 years.
We have that registered.
Let's bring it back.
Nobody else could get it. May as well use it for something.
I suppose. But you want to keep buyers interested in the Mustang. How do you do that? Well, you got to keep refining it. You got to keep pushing this forward.
Stand by. I'm going to use one of my 10 gears right now.
Oh, yes.
I'm only in 7th.
Well, I know there's other peripheral cars. Well, hang on. There's other peripheral cars that, compete against this car. But what is this car, besides the special edition? You can't afford the GT500, and you can afford more than a GT. Is that it?
That buyer specifically has been defined because apparently they want to spend. I'd like to buy a Mustang, but I can't spend $100,000. I'd like to spend 60. Can I spend 60? And you can't get the GT350 anymore, which was supposed to be 60, was never 60. But this one, 60.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's fast. You'll spend most of your time below 4,000 RPM because it just makes so much torque.
And it has 10 speeds, and all it wants to be is in gear 10, and the top 3 are overdrive gears. This 10-speed transmission, it works just fine. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It downshifts very aggressively. It upshifts half as aggressively as downshifting, which I find really odd. It listens to the paddles mostly.
Sorta.
But this car needs a 6-speed.
It does.
Get the manual.
I think it should only be offered in a manual, because if it's going to be a special edition, let's make it special for the owners.
That's a good point. Yep.
It's sort of like a rite of passage. You have to know manual transmission in order to buy this car. If you don't, sorry, it's not a volume leader. It's not the car we're making the most money on anyway, so who cares if you sell less? Yeah. Ford's going in a different direction anyway. Who cares?
They're going to sell out of them, whether it was all manual or not, they'd still sell out of them.
Yeah.
We know they would.
Of course.
Yeah.
It just would make it that much more interesting and special, I think. And forget about MPG, because that's what the 10-speed is trying to do.
And it's irrelevant.
Get to 10th gear as quick as you can.
We have hosed through gasoline on this shoot. We've practically been pulling a tanker rig behind us. We've gone through gas so much. We keep getting out after one of us drives and doing a fuel check. Like, we're down another quarter. So the fact that it's 10 speeds is useless for gas mileage. I know that's the reason why it's there. I know that when they ran the MPG cycle, I'm sure it was better quantifiably enough that we were able to check a box and it's stupid. You have a V8. You have a V8. You're going to burn gas.
You have a Mustang Mach-E that's electric. Who cares? Let this burn gas. Just let it go. Yeah, I like that you can get after it though. It's impressive.
So well, it really does. And it's fun to drive quickly. That's the thing I like about it. It's enjoyable to drive quickly. And the 5-liter V8 Rumble with a little more power than the GT, that's just pleasing. This is a very fun car to drive. It reminds me how much the current Mustang chassis is just well sorted. It doesn't have
It is.
the theater of the GT350, which we so like. That engine was so
Totally.
miraculous.
Totally.
It was really, really fun to drive that car just because of its voice and the personality of the flat plane crank.
Yeah.
So that was something that I really do miss here. But what I'm most surprised by is that here comes this without that engine, and it's essentially the same price as the GT350 was. Not the R,
Yeah.
but it's the same price as the 350, and that really does surprise me. Granted, this starts at like 52 grand, but this one, as we have spec, is 60.
Yes, we don't have the handling package on this either, which pretty much is spoilers and wheel and tire package. You already get the Brembo front calipers, and you get this lovely engine, spec it with the 6-speed, and the adaptive suspension. That's the main thing you're getting, and that's the best part of this car, I think.
That's on here.
The composure of this car through corners.
You would almost think the handling pack would add that, but that's on here without the handling pack.
You just get it as part of the Mach 1.
Ford's very excited about these weird basket weave bird nest wheels
Whatever.
that are a ½ inch wider but a couple pounds lighter each. Now that's significant.
Okay,
I'm sure
all
that
right.
changes the handling. I get it, but I want this to be more special to match the price. But at the same time, I can't deny the fact that this is genuinely fun to drive, and it just, again, proves to me what the Mustang is good at right now.
Yeah.
Except for that, I don't like the auto. I want a 6-speed on this in a big way.
It prevents you from liking the car. It really does.
It certainly holds me back a bit. And here's the thing: when you get the 6-speed with this, it's the exact same 6-speed as was in that GT350.
Yes.
So get that.
That's the parts car.
Be done.
We like parts cars. We like the cars that, when you've got the shopping list. Ooh, barely.
Suck it, everybody.
We like parts cars that, the engineers kind of went shopping. Mm-hmm. The design is pretty much the same. It's a lot of trim. You get the rockers, the spoilers, the front diffuser from the GT500. You get, if you have the handling package, you get the gurney flap on the back. And the trim package, you get orange, a subtle orange.
That orange is
black,
reflective.
It is reflective.
And this gray,
cool.
fighter gray, is only available on the Mach 1.
Yeah.
Fighter plane gray. Yeah.
Look, it's cool. And the badge kind of harkens back to, of course, the history.
Absolutely.
But that's just it. We're talking about 1969 through the mid-70s, when you can order a Mustang in hundreds of different ways.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
was pretty cool. And that's a lot of the reason people bought Mustangs. They like to spec those out. This is a lot more limited. Mustangs in general. Car building and just the business of making cars has changed dramatically. But, I get it. I like that they brought this back, but I want this car to be pushed more, because I get in and I think, what changed? Interior, same style, same.
The 60 grand is the hard part about this, even though I can't deny that it's cool and it sounds great and it's fun to drive.
Yeah, it is.
You need to drive it.
I do. That was just practice. This has modes. You
the
activate
modes.
them right down here with the toggle switches that only move one direction.
Those are annoying. It's
You
really
can't
annoying.
push down. A toggle switch should be up to go on, down to
Especially
go
when they
off.
look like that. And when it only goes one
Yes.
direction and you have a menu of multiple things,
Yes.
it's like the old TV checker where it's like, I got to go back around the horn. You got to keep
gotta
going
go back
until you
around
get back
the
around to
circle.
the numbers you want. And it also isn't like a light touch. It's like a cha-chunk wait for the thing to respond.
Which is very
Cha-chunk.
Mustang-y.
If you want to change anything, you want to change your steering, which you want to change.
You do. When you first start out, you flip a switch. It just brings up the mode that you're currently in. It doesn't change anything, so you got to do it twice before it goes away. Oh.
Well, yeah, because then if you wait too long and you hit it again, then
goes
it just
away.
shows you your mode again.
Yes.
So you got to have it show you your mode, then start changing modes, but don't stop to wonder if that's the mode you want, because then it'll think it's the one you want. You hit it again, it's going to come. Oh.
Not as well thought through on that one. So we're in Sport Plus mode, back to Sport. So that's the only way you can use the paddles. It doesn't actually shift down here, and then we're away. Let's go use some fuel.
Not going to have to try very hard. I don't care how many gears you have.
That sound is glorious.
It does sound great.
I will
Come
admit,
on.
that is great. That's the biggest thing why people buy cars. That's why internal combustion engines will still be sold, because people want that noise. Fakery is fakery. Yeah, the composure of this car, I really love the adaptive suspension. The dampers really overcome the weight of this car, and it doesn't do what you think a 3,700-pound car should do.
3,900 pounds.
All right. But nevertheless,
Heavy.
ooh, let's just back it off. We're not on a racetrack. It does have track mode.
Yes, it does.
But we're
if
not
you
on a
toggle
racetrack.
long enough. And then it changes the gauges again. Now, the gauge changes. It's really cool. The
Second
gauge
gear.
changes depending on your mode. And that can be really cool. It changes the way your RPMs are shown. And I actually really like what they've done with that.
So here's how this drives, and that is, I think, with a pretty impressive natural feel.
Yep.
You feel the undulations of the road. You're not feeling the road itself through the steering wheel, but you do feel the composure of the car. And despite its electric power steering, you're getting that tracking. You're getting that composure on the road, which is pretty impressive.
I think it tells you under load, it tells you which wheel's under load, which a lot of the electric steering racks don't do that.
I agree. It's sort of like we all think as enthusiasts that just because it says electric assist means it's all the same and it won't ever change. Manufacturers won't ever improve upon it. It's not the case, and that is being proven here. You can hustle this car.
Well, it's got enough power that if you start to get a little bit of understeer, you can put your foot in it more and you can rotate the back end. I mean, it definitely obeys what you're doing, and it requires a little bit of skill, but it rewards that.
Yeah. All right, I'm being sold more and more because this is the balance between just cruising. You can road trip in it. Anybody in the back seat is going to try to kill you.
They're going to hate you the minute you close the seats on them,
If you take this on a road trip and then you can go tracking with it, you can justify ownership of this car.
Yeah.
So the seating position is decent. I want to be lower in the car, though. I keep pushing down on the power seat here.
Yeah.
And I feel like the seats are a bit too squishy for the performance of this car. I feel like it needed an upgrade from these, to be honest.
Yeah.
These are just a little too soft. They don't quite hang on to you for what the car is capable of.
With so many special edition versions of the Mustang, could they not have extended the seat contract through this car? I mean, they're doing parts car anyway. Let's just do it.
Yeah, agreed. So little things, I realize they didn't call and say, guys.
They never call. They never call.
They never call.
We put out our number, they never call.
The issue is, if we're doing the parts car and we're doing and picking and choosing various things that make it just right, I'm fine with leaving the power where it is, but how about all the other little tasty bits? Justify that 60 grand. Yeah, see that adaptive suspension lets you trail brake pretty nice through corners, and then you can just roll out of it. All right. That's full throttle. I like coming up on a sign that says icy. Oh, that's fast.
Bombing your way toward a sign that says icy. Sure, what could go wrong?
I just wanted
another day at the office right there, yeah.
I just wanted heat in the brakes. That's all I wanted.
I understand.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yes.
That moves.
I am consistently surprised by how aggressive the downshifts are, whether you do it and tell it when you want it or it does it for itself. It's a very aggressive downshift. And then the upshift has tended to be like, I'm pondering with the Dragon and now.
Yeah, well, after it waits a while, it does have rev matching applied to an automatic transmission, which seems very strange to me. I say program the automatic transmission better. Don't add features.
But because it's loud in here and it sounds good, I think if you drive this without thinking, you're going to always shift at about 2,000, 2,500 RPM and find yourself in 10th. And you're going to get marginally better gas mileage if you have the 6-speed manual. And the 6-speed manual is going to actually connect you with what this car is already doing, and you're going to like it even more. And I actually don't think that it's don't have an automatic. I think it's legitimately the fact that we're talking about 10 gears. I bet you if this was a 6 or 7 speed auto, I'd like it better. But it's
programmed
just
differently.
It's working its way up toward massively overdriven gears.
Yeah.
And I just don't like the interaction.
I still say just make it manual only.
Since it's a limited
and it comes
edition.
with some sort of
Why not?
ID card.
Congrats.
That you're
you
in
could
the
drive
club.
stick.
You're in the club now.
Yeah.
Partner with, Save the Manuals or something.
There you go. There you go.
And make it, the Foundations car. We only make it in manual.
There you go. Hey, look, you're giving Ford gold here.
I am.
Another special edition is coming. The Mustang Foundations Edition. Only available in manual.
That's what they like.
As soon as they stop selling the Mach 1, it's the new Foundations Edition.
Does that mean there's going to be a lot of special editions for the Mach-E?
Of course.
Of course.